Do you struggle turning a one-page layout into a two-page spread? Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here. I recently stumbled upon some extra photos that needed to be incorporated into my existing layout. Join me today as I share how I seamlessly expanded the design across both pages and created a cohesive look. On my desk, I have the Nature Adventure Kit from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. As you can see, there are some wonderful neutral and masculine-like hues in these patterns. They are perfect for outdoor memories or for those warmer photos as we transition into the new season. In this collection is a great mix of 49 and Market, Cartabella, Photo Play, and Simple Stories. You will also receive a 12 by 12 Photo Play sticker sheet, ochre ephemera, craft garden chipboard words and phrases, this title cardstock cut, and a container of Vicky B's blue glaze. As I create today's project, I'll bring in a few additional supplies. As always, I prefer that you use what you already have in your craft stash, but if you'd like a list of the items I'm using on this project, the complete list can be found in the description below, along with a link to this kit. This month I shared a one-page layout that I created with an older photo I discovered in a box in the basement. I mentioned in my video how I was struggling to find place for the journaling on this page. As I was sorting through items this week, I found some more photos, so now I need a second page. This is going to give me an opportunity to make a place for that story. In the Not Just for Boys Facebook group, Merity posted this month's sketch challenge, which I think will be a perfect design for my second page. I'm going to pop that sketch up on the screen real quick. I have 3 photos here which I plan to place like this. In the sketch, there's a 4th photo, but I think I might use that for my journaling spot. One of the difficult tasks I'll face today is creating balance between the 2 pages. My goal is to share my process for adding the second page and how to create cohesiveness between the 2 designs. The original page has a border of dark brown cardstock, so I replicated that. I also brought in a darker floral pattern for the background. For my original background, I cut apart 2 49 and Market patterns. And while I could replicate that look, I don't know how that will work with the placement of the photos. So I'm just going to use parts of those patterns as a large frame instead. To bring in some more of that ochre yellow, I'm going to lay this larger ephemera element here from the 49 and Market collection. And then I'll add some blue with this large Simple Stories pattern here. So I've brought in all the patterns and colors from the original page. Now I just need to adhere them in place. Behind my photos, I'm going to use some ephemera layers. This matches the frame around the photo on the original layout. I am using an edge distressing tool around those frames. I also distressed the background papers to match the rough edges on my original layout. I want to bring in more yellow, so I'm going to tuck a few of the ephemera bits under one of the photos. I cut that diagonal stripe pattern in half because I want to put one portion at the top and one portion at the base to make it look like a continuous piece of paper. This diagonal stripe pattern matches the frame that I used for the 3rd photo. I also like how it adds a little bit of childlike whimsy to both pages. I'm going to bring back my original page. I think I like it better on the right, so I'll add the elements to match that design. To bring some floral to the page, I'm cutting a wildflower in half. And I'm going to create a frame around the larger photo with this sticker. This is similar to what I did on the other side. A portion of this is going to overlap the small photo, and that's going to help frame our sun in that picture. I also added some phrases from the chipboard collection and sticker sheet. I'll use the same colors here on this page, and I'm also going to bring in a little butterfly sticker to match the butterflies on the other page. I've added a phrase above the large photo that says, "You are my sunshine." This is similar to one of the stickers on the other side. Right now, I'm going to lay out a few other elements because I want to audition their placement. I'm trying to decide what will match the other page and create some visual triangles on both sides of my layout. At this point, I feel like something's missing, and then I realized I didn't bring in any of that stenciling to this side of the layout. Of course, everything's stuck down, so I'm going to have to do my best not to create a mess. Just like last time, I'm going to mix that glaze with grit texture paste. This will add texture to the glaze and tone down that shine. I masked off the large photo to prevent any paste from getting on there, and I'm going to try to not make a huge mess as I stencil the paste on the page. It was difficult to tuck the stencil under the photos. It's not easy to do this after the fact, but it can be done. I just had to be super careful not to get any of the paste where I didn't want it to sit. Now, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to fill in all of the pattern, but when I took a look at the other page, I realized that I didn't fill in all of these little X's, so I don't need to worry about filling them in completely on this side. I'm going to let this paste dry. I'll add my photo back to the page, and then I'll share the completed design with you. Here's the completed page, and I have to say it looks much better with that little bit of blue glaze. I did smudge the design down here when I removed the stencil, so I just brought in a large sticker and created a frame around the photo. I think this helped that photo stand out more, and it matches the items I added to the other page. I also added a title here and some twine at the base of the page to match the twine on the original design. Now, before I share that with you, I want to show you how it compares to the sketch. I did position the photos in a similar manner. I had planned on using the fourth photo spot for journaling, but I chose to put it here instead. In the video for the first page, I shared how meaningful these photos were. The location we often visited when the kids were little no longer exists due to a devastating event. I wanted to make sure that I told that story. After typing up the story, I ran this paper through my printer so that I could make sure that that story was recorded for others to read. The journal location does match the sketch, and the layers of the paper and die cuts are similar. I placed some of the phrases and the title on the page just like the sketch, but I made a few changes so that I could create a cohesive feel with the previous layout. Let me bring in that page real quick. I like it over here on the right because the contrast of dark and light is a great storytelling feature. This photo has some yellow and blue around it, and I brought those colors to the left side. Not only did I match a lot of the elements, shapes, and colors, I also matched the texture with twine and glaze. My goal today was to show you how to create a unified design across two scrapbook pages. Often I find myself with extra photos after I created a single page layout, and I often want to incorporate those photos into the design. It can be challenging to create a new page later on, so I hope that the tips I provided you with are helpful when you're looking to add to your current scrapbook page. For more ideas using the Nature Adventure Kit, head on over to the Not Just for Boys community group on Facebook. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope this project inspired you to try something new. If you have any questions about this project or the supplies I used, feel free to post those in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.